What a time to be alive. So, little fun fact about me. While in college, I learned about the term recency bias, the bias some people can experience where the most recent thing they go through has a greater effect on them than what came before. I bring up the term I've chosen to go by on the interwebs only to highlight that my June 2025 absolutely spits in the face of this bias, because the gaming highlight of my entire month happened the morning of June 1st when I beat the final boss of Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Now, to state the obvious, there is nothing novel I can say about Expedition 33. It's all pretty much been said. But what I can do is reiterate the parts of this game's praise that resonate the most with me. The best part of this game is that the answer to the question, what is the best part of this game, is just so many things. It never feels like one answer is enough to do this game justice, so I'll limit my own answer to this question to the 3 areas that kept me coming back. Firstly, the moment-to-moment pacing of this game to me was the biggest draw. This game wastes no time and packs into each moment of either gameplay or story something memorable and enjoyable. Secondly, the character writing in this game is what I come to this medium for, because the added layer of interactivity that only games can provide that turns a passive viewer of the story into an active participant in shaping events, it's just on top-notch display here. And lastly, I just felt respected by this game. I don't typically enjoy turn-based RPGs, but not only did this game meet me where I'm at with some real-time combat systems like the dodging and parrying, it roped me into the RPG build crafting a little bit and made me feel like I was having a good time in a genre I don't normally engage with. Oh, and yes, to state it again, the parry mechanic. The game's director said he was inspired by Sekiro, so it's always cool to see real recognize real. And now, speaking about things that have numbers attached to the end of their title, let's talk about the Switch 2. The Switch 2 is a really cool device. That's all it can be right now. People want to immediately write out the trajectory of the Switch 2's legacy when it's barely gotten out the door, but until we see the third-party support, the strength of those ports technically, or most importantly, until we see what Nintendo themselves are cooking up to share with us, we won't really know the lasting impact of this quote-unquote boring next generation of hardware from Nintendo. But boy is Mario Kart World fun. I am loving Knockout Tour, and the costumes are good motivators to get me branching out to play as different characters. Also, the part of some Knockout Tour matches where the music goes like this, that's honestly my favorite part of owning a Switch 2. And hey, speaking about games, why don't I talk about another game? That's right, you already guessed it, it's Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. One thing I cut from my Nintendo Switch review was me saying that I was making a bigger video about both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and so I'm saying that here and now. The purpose of that video is to address an annoyance I have about how these games are talked about on the internet. I think both games, while obviously highly lauded, kind of get brought up in conversation together, mainly if someone is using one to downplay the other, and I just kind of want to give my take on that conversation and push myself to make a bit of a bigger, more focused video. In terms of progress in Breath of the Wild, I've beaten all 4 Divine Beasts, and I'm going to spend the next month just doing whatever and writing out a lot of my thoughts about the game before moving on to Tears of the Kingdom for an August/September playthrough where I'll do the same thing. Hopefully to have a video out in October, but also don't hold me to that because I first and foremost want it to be good rather than out, if that makes sense. So yeah, please continue to look forward to it, as a Japanese developer would say. And speaking of looking forward to things, one thing I was really looking forward to this year was Doom: The Dark Ages. Doom: The Dark Ages is a game I beat yesterday at the time of writing this, and I have many thoughts, but I'll try being brief, like the case. Doom: The Dark Ages is very different from the 2 games that have preceded it in this new era for Doom, and it has some positive leanings and some negative leanings, and it leans into all of it incredibly hard. And for that, if nothing else, is something I have to give major props to the team at id Software for. Now, did Doom: The Dark Ages need to try to have that much story? Does the Doomslayer need lore implications? I mean, by all accounts, it's their right to do what they want with the story, but like, are a significant portion of the player base going to Doom the Dark Ages because they want to see King Novik be wounded by Prince Azric and then his daughter Thyra looks for help? I played the entire game, and I only remember that sentence because of this screenshot. I don't even remember the event itself. But hey, again, it's their right, and if they felt the need to have a Gears of Warhammer story to justify giving us a cool medieval setting and killer weaponry, then I say good on you, but also you didn't have to do all that. So, Doom the Dark Ages was supposed to be the last game that I talked about, but it turns out that I was only 3 seconds away from beating The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom when I shelved it nearly a year ago. Gosh, I can't believe that's been a year. So I beat that too. It was good. Glad to play as a summoning wizard, coming up with cool ways to defeat enemies, and it finally runs well on Switch too, which is great. So yeah, just a good time. Especially now that the favoriting system is in the game, to help alleviate the headache-inducing experience of going from one end of the UI line to the other. In terms of what are next, I've got a few different fronts I'm working on. I've got seamless co-op Elden Ring that I'm hoping to turn into some sort of a series, or at least a video. I just bought Death Stranding 2 on the beach, which I'll be hopping into once this video is out. And I've got a few mystery Maska tools that I won't share with you right now, or my own unrealistic expectations will sabotage me. Okay, goodbye. Like and subscribe if you think this was a video you just watched.